What's up, folks? This is Josh back here from Inside Wrestling Truth. It's that time of the week again for our Royal Rumble review. It's January 21st, 1996. We're in Fresno, California at the Sealand Arena for Royal Rumble 1996. Now, if you remember, the last one I did was 1995, of course. And it was absolutely horrible. This one wasn't as bad. But let's get on into it. If you remember, during these times of 95 and 96, this is when guys were leaving the WWF at the time. They go to WCW. And I thought it really hurt them in 95. But 96 was a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get right on into this review. Excuse me. We open up with a video package for the Royal Rumble. Showing a little bit of last year and the matches for this year. And then we go straight to the commentating team. This year on the commentating team we have Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect. Perfect wouldn't be with the company much longer after this. He would also go to WCW. Opening match, we have Jeff Jarrett versus Ahmed Johnson. I was a huge Ahmed Johnson fan when I was younger. This match wasn't bad, but it wasn't the greatest either. They would go back and forth. Jeff Jarrett would do his style of wrestling, and Ahmed Johnson would do his power moves. And Ahmed Johnson was a beast, man. But this match didn't have a whole lot to talk about there. In the end, Jeff Jarrett gets on the top rope. He flies off the top rope with the guitar and smashes it over Ahmed Johnson's head. And Ahmed Johnson would pick up the win in a disqualification. I gave this match 2.5 stars. We had a young Ahmed Johnson and a younger Jeff Jarrett. I respect Jeff Jarrett for everything he's done in the wrestling business, but I was just really never a big fan of Jeff Jarrett. Not in the WWF anyways. Then we go to a Diesel promo. He's talking about how many people he threw out in 95, and he's going to do the same thing in 96. We go to the Tag Team Championship match. We have the Body Donnas versus Smoking Guns. This match was an average tag team match. If you don't remember the Body Donnas, it was Chris Candido and Tom Pritchard. I gave this one 2.5 stars of Smoking Guns. With both, hit a small package on both of the Body Donnas at the same time to pick up the win. Like I said, this match, just an average tag team wrestling match. I gave it 2.5 stars. Then we go to the New Generation promo. It has, if you all remember this, it has Billionaire Ted, who's supposed to be Ted Turner, the Huckster, who's supposed to be Hulk Hogan, the Nacho Man, Mean Gene. Pretty much just making fun of them because they left for WCW, saying you can't teach a old dog new tricks. But pretty funny, I guess. They got a real good dig in on WCW on this one. Then we go to a Goldust and Razor Ramon video package. Pretty much, it shows Razor Ramon being harassed by Goldust. Goldust kind of having feelings for Razor Ramon. He had a tattoo of a heart that said Razor on his chest. Weird shit like that. They would have a brawl on Monday Night Raw where Razor Ramon wasn't even supposed to be there, but he beat the living snot out of Goldust all the way through the locker room. I mean, they did a really good job at this, selling it. They were out in the snow. Goldust would eventually take off in his car. They did a really, really good job, and I would have liked to seen them two actually work more matches. Then we have the Intercontinental title match. We have Challenger Goldust versus Champion Razor Ramon. This was a pretty good match. I gave it 3 stars out of 5. They would go back and forth. Really good wrestling match. Goldust would put him in like very awkward sexual holds to get under Razor Ramon's skin. And as Razor Ramon looked like he was going to get ready to take advantage to pick up the win, the 1, 2, 3 Kid comes out and does one of them flying spin kicks off the top rope, knocks Razor out, and Goldust picks up the win. 1, 2, 3. Goldust is your new Intercontinental Champion. Like I said, I gave it 3 stars out of 5. I thought it was a pretty good match. Then we go to a lot of promos. We hadn't seen this in a while. You know, as they used to do for the Royal Rumble, but they brought it back again in '96. We have Shawn Michaels' doctors talking about, you know, it's going to be hard for Shawn Michaels to win. You know, this is pretty much trying to put Shawn Michaels over. You know, I couldn't stand Shawn Michaels during this time. Then we would go to an Owen Hart promo. Owen Hart is the one that actually put Shawn Michaels on the shelf. He was talking about how he would do it again. Then we have the return of Jake the Snake Roberts promo. Jake, this is his first Rumble since '92, and we're here at '96, and Jake Roberts is back. We have Jerry Lawler promo, Barry Horowitz, Vader and Cornette, real corny HBK promo. Then we're done with the promos. We go back down to the announcing team where we have Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect. They're getting ready for the Royal Rumble match. Perfect says he picks Vader to win the whole thing. And as I recall, this is the first time that the Royal Rumble match wasn't the main event on the Royal Rumble show. It may have happened a couple other times. I can't really recall. But I remember '96 being the first time it ever happened. So we would go to the Royal Rumble match itself, 1996. Here are the entrants. This Royal Rumble had a lot of jobbers in it as well. But I can respect that a little bit since, you know, Ted Turner was trying to buy all of the so-called talent. And there were several guys that were more guys on here that would leave after a few months after this. But anyway, I'll go ahead and tell you the entrants that were in the Royal Rumble. Triple H would draw 1, and Duke the Dumpster Droese would draw 30. This coming off the free-for-all. Whoever won the match would be 1. Or whoever won the match would be 30, whoever lost would be 1. Triple H would lose and be 1. Then we have Henry Godwin, Bob Backlund, Jerry Lawler, Bob Holly, King Mabel, Jake Roberts. Now when Jake Roberts hits the ring, he breaks out the snake, and they all go under the bottom rope, so nobody's eliminated, but Jerry Lawler hides under the ring. Silly shit. We have Dory Funk, Yokozuna, 1, 2, 3 Kid. 1, 2, 3 Kid comes out. Razor Ramon chases him all over the arena. And security and the referees and officials and all that end up breaking them up. At 11, we have Omari from All Japan Pro Wrestling. Some of y'all probably never even heard of him before. Savio Vega. We have Vader. Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Wow, I forgot he was even in this Rumble. This dude worked the territories and still works the indies today. He was with the USWA at the time. I guess he was just kind of like a fill-in. Then we have SWAT team member 1 and 2 come in at 15 and 16. If you remember these dudes, they were garbage. They were in nothing. I guess just more jobbers to put in the Royal Rumble. The first one will get eliminated, then the second one will come out, and they would try to come in the ring, but Vader and Yokozuna were both in the ring at the same time, and they both eventually eliminated both of the SWAT team members. Then we have Owen Hart, Shawn Michaels, Hakushi, Tatanka. At about this time, Shawn Michaels eliminates Yokozuna and Vader at the same time, which is just so insane. Like, that would never happen. But they get into it on the outside, which would build up a match for WrestleMania. Vader goes nuts, comes back in the ring, starts eliminating everybody. Gorilla Monsoon comes out, and then Vader would end up leaving. At 21, we have Montoya, who I said before was just incredible. Diesel, we have Kama, the Fighting Machine, formerly known as Papa Shango. We have Ringmaster, who was Steve Austin. Barry Horowitz, Fatu when he was doing the non-head shrinker gimmick. He was kind of acting like a rapper, I believe. Isaac Yankem, who was Kane. Marty Jannetty, the British Bulldog, and Duke the Dumpster Droese. Now this Royal Rumble match itself, Shawn Michaels would go on to win. Him and Diesel would be the last two in the ring, and he would give him a super kick to eliminate him over the top rope. They would have the little handshake afterwards. Triple H lasted the longest in this Rumble. He lasted 50 minutes. Overall, as a Royal Rumble match, this one was a little bit better than 95. Not much, but they had a lot of jobbers in this one, guys. Not just jobbers, just like mid-card guys and stuff like that. Like, for instance, Bob Holly was never nothing more than a mid-card guy. We had Dory Funk, Amari from All Japan Pro Wrestling. When did they use him? Doug Gilbert. No disrespect to Doug Gilbert. Squad team, the tag team, trash. The Barry Horowitz, Duke the Dumpster Droese. Not a bad Rumble, but once again, Shawn Michaels wins it. He becomes the second guy till this date of 96 to win it twice. Hulk Hogan being the first, and Shawn Michaels would do it again. Let's go, and then we'll go to the main event, okay? We have the WWF title match. We have The Undertaker versus champion Bret Hart. On Undertaker's way down to the ring, Diesel still hasn't left ringside, and they run into each other and they brawl for about 5 minutes. This would set up for their match at WrestleMania. Bret Hart, and Undertaker would have a classic match. Very good. Loved watching these two guys wrestle together. They get 4 stars out of 5. They would go back and forth. Bret Hart just could not put the Undertaker away. This is when Undertaker had the mask. Bret Hart would take the turnbuckle pad off and Undertaker's mask off and start smashing his head into the turnbuckle. But Undertaker has Bret Hart in Tombstone, and Tombstone's is getting ready to finish him off, and out of nowhere, Diesel pulls the ref out of the ring, gets Bret Hart disqualified. Undertaker wins, but doesn't win the belt. This setting up, like I said, for the match at WrestleMania. Very, very good match. I felt like this match saved this show. Then they had a thing about they had a thing called Royal Rumble Plus right after this main event. Monsoon talks about the In Your House pay-per-view in February. We had promos from, I believe it was Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Bret Hart, Diesel, something like that. Build-ups. But we had a few build-ups from this Royal Rumble that would end up meeting at WrestleMania. Well, we seen the altercation between Vader and Yokozuna outside the ring. This would lead to Yokozuna turning face, and they would actually have a 6-man tag match at WrestleMania 12. I believe it was Vader, Owen Hart, and Bulldog versus Yoko, Ahmed, and Jake Roberts. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Another match would be Undertaker versus Diesel. This was right before Diesel. He would only be there a few more months, and then he would go form the NWO. And of course, the classic, one of the best matches of all time, Shawn Michaels Iron Man match versus Bret the Hitman Hart, where Shawn Michaels finally wins the title. Yeah, those are the build-ups to WrestleMania 12 from this Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble was not as bad as 95. It was a little bit better. I gave it 7.5 stars. I almost gave it 8, but I gave it 7.5 stars. Not one of your best Rumbles, but again, respect what Vince had at the time. And that's it for the review of Royal Rumble 1996. Like I said, Shawn Michaels wins the Royal Rumble for the 2nd year in a row. And I'll be back next week for 1997. Until then, peace.